Welcome to Adalis Backyard Garden. In this video, we will give you an update on our tomato plants and how they are doing. We also will discuss some of the varieties that we are growing here, the trellising and pruning techniques that we use, some of the diseases and pests that we commonly encounter, watering and sunlight, and fertilizing. It has been 6 weeks since we transplanted our saplings and we have started to see tomatoes coming in most of our plants. We have two beds where we have transplanted our tomatoes. The first one was started around 6 weeks ago and the second one was started about 5 weeks ago. And you can see how much progress we have made. Most of our tomato plants have started to put out blooms and also they've started forming tomatoes. Since we live in zone 8B, the weather here is very hot in July, August, and so we prefer to grow varieties that grow well in hot region. I try to grow varieties that are not readily available in the market, and also I've heard that porter and celebrity varieties of tomato grow well in warm region. These are the ones that we are growing right here. Moneymaker is the first one and we have 3 plants. They have already started to put out blooms and form tomatoes. These are 4 to 6 ounce size tomatoes. Moneymaker is a variety that grows abundantly and that's why I wanted to give it a try. Now these plants were started indoors from seeds a month before they were transplanted onto our raised beds. We also have a video on how we transplant these tomatoes. Since the weather in Dallas area is extremely hot in the months of July and August, our aim is to get as much tomatoes as we can in the months of April, May and June. Inevitably, our plants have some or the other disease by July, August because it is so hot and the humidity also causes a lot of diseases and pests. So it's best to get as much as we can in terms of yield before those months come in. My aim is to start the tomato plants from seeds at least in the beginning of February so that we have pretty decent growth by the time we transplant the tomatoes onto our beds, and that's why we start seeing tomatoes by April. Tomato plants are heavy feeders and therefore it is very essential for the beds to be prepared really well before you transplant them. We prep our beds with rich organic matter like compost, earthworm castings, bone meal or eggshell powder. The second variety that we are growing in our raised bed is the sweetie tomato, and this is my favorite tomato. This is a grape variety and the reason why I love it is because it produces abundantly without much effort. And each truss of tomato produces around 16 to 32 tomatoes, and it is an amazing thing to see how it looks. This is the yield from last year and I've just put out the pictures for you to see how much it produces. These seeds were purchased around 3 years ago and from an online seed store, and I just use 2 or 3 of them every time I start my plants. I really don't waste any extra seeds and I use them year after year. Really, if you buy the seeds from a good seed store, the germination rate would be really high. So you just need to plant as many as you want. The third variety of tomato that I'm growing in this raised bed is the Champagne Bubbles tomato, and it is a grape-sized tomato and it is yellow in color. It is so beautiful to look at, excellent for salad topping. This is how the Champagne Bubbles tomato looks like, and it is extremely productive and sweet to taste. Now the fourth variety of tomato that we are growing in our second raised bed is the porter tomato, and we are growing 4 saplings of the porter tomato. This variety is supposed to do really well in hot regions, and last year also we had a good yield of this tomato. These are medium to small size tomatoes and they produce really well. Here in Dallas, in the months of July and August, we see temperatures above 95 Fahrenheit, and it is hard to grow many varieties because the flowers, they just don't fertilize, and the yield is poor during those months for some varieties. So I tend to prefer varieties that grow well in hot regions. Here is a picture of the Porter tomato from last year. The next variety of tomato that we are growing in our raised bed is the San Marzano, which is a type of Roma tomatoes. These are smaller saplings because we started them much later. And here is a picture of the San Marzano. The last variety that we are growing is the early cascade variety, and we will let you know how this does, and we will also share pictures with you. Tomato plants are very susceptible to diseases and pests, especially the leaves. Therefore, it is very important to keep the tomato plants tied up to a stake or a trellis. And this is the trellis that we are using. I love these stakes because these are very stable, they are tall, and they're very cheap. And I bought them from Daiso. I also love these flexible ties that I purchased from Dollar Mart. It is very easy to tie up these plants onto the stakes. They are non-slip kind of ties, and they have held up very well to the wind that we have in this area. You don't have to spend a lot of money to buy supplies for your tomato plants. You can just use anything that you have, a stake or anything that can just tie up the plants, and just make sure that they're off the ground, and also you prune the lower leaves. I remove the lower leaves just because they are the most susceptible to diseases from splashback of water from the soil. Tomato plants are very susceptible to diseases and pests. Here are a few of the common ones that we see in our garden, and we are not able to cover all of the diseases and pests just because it is beyond the scope of this video to do that. Here is a picture of the blight that we encountered last year, and the leaves that we removed from our plants. We're giving the plants a spray of baking soda solution. The neem oil solution also works for blight. Now this is a picture of blossom and rot, and this is commonly observed in Roma variety of tomatoes. The solution for this problem is either using bone meal or lime, and also consistently watering your plants. Tomato hornworm is another pest that we see in our tomato plants, and these are green and big worms that can decimate your plant within hours. If you see that the tender leaves of your plants are missing, you might want to look for the tomato hornworm and remove them from your plant. Now, as much as you love your tomatoes, there are some little fellas that love them more than you do. And for this problem, we have tried to place Mr. Owl in our garden and also Mr. Eagle. To some extent, they help in warding off these pests. Consistent watering is very important for the tomato plants, and we have set up a drip system for our tomato plants. If you use a hose, make sure that you do not wet the leaves of your tomato plants as much as possible. Sunlight is also very important for the tomato plants to flourish well. So whenever you pick a spot for your tomato plants, make sure that they get good sunlight throughout the day, and that will help them bloom and produce more. After about 2 months of transplanting the tomato plants, I give it the first dose of fertilizer, and that is a liquid fertilizer. I love the Neptune Harvest fish and seaweed fertilizer, which is a 2-3-1, or I sometimes also use the More Bloom, which is a 0-10-10, to produce more flowers and tomatoes. I repeat the cycle every 6 weeks or so. Now, another method to increase the pollination of your flowers is just to tap the flowers when they grow. But in our region, we have such high winds that we really do not need to do this. I still get a decent harvest. As your plant grows, tying up your plants to the stakes and making sure that they are not drooping down to the soil, making sure that you fertilize regularly, removing all the dead leaves and diseased leaves, removing any pest that you see will ensure that you will get a good yield. Thank you for watching this video, and we always appreciate your comments. If you like these kind of videos, please like, share and subscribe to our videos. Thank you.